Hey, you're back. Oh, so am I. Okay. So we talked about rule number 5, boop, and we talked about rule number 6. Wait, let me get it over here. Boop, there we go. And so now I wanted to talk about rule number 7. Let me get rid of those. Go. And I'll put rule number 7 right in the middle. Boop, there we go. So rule number 7 is no info dumps in dialogue. So an info dump means an information dump. It means give somebody a whole bunch of information through dialogue so that you can tell the reader about your character. Now, first of all, with backstories, you only want to give a backstory if it's important to your character. And you want to minimize how much backstory you give because backstory is boring. Backstory has no sensory input, it has no conflict, it has no tension. Maybe, it might, but it's boring. And so you want to minimize the amount of backstory. But when I give backstory to a character, I like to do it through dialogue, but I do it very carefully and I do it very slowly and I spread it out over multiple discussions so that you slowly reveal the character to the reader. I prefer to slowly reveal it than to suddenly blast them with lots of information. So in my book, I think it's Zombies Attack, maybe. Yeah. I have a character named Sadler. And I want the readers to get to know Sadler and to empathize with Sadler and root for Sadler because something's going to happen to Sadler that ain't so good. If you've read the book, you know. So I had one of the characters ask Sadler a question about when they came to the village or something like that. I don't remember. And they have dialogue going back and forth about about her history in this village, and it sparks a debate about what's cowardice and what's strength and what's bravery. And so in that backstory, I'm adding conflict and tension, and at the same time, I'm revealing something about that character and their character arc. And that's what's important about giving information, giving some backstory about your characters in dialogue, is you got to do it very carefully. Otherwise, it just smells like an info dump, and you know what the reader does? They just skip to the next paragraph. And as soon as they start skipping, they've disconnected from your story, and now they're not engaged completely, and you've given them a reason to put their book down, because that's a good place to stop, right when they're bored. You never want to give them a reason to put your book down. So when you're doing dialogue and you want to give some information about a character, be very careful and do it like we mentioned during rule number 6. Add that tension into the dialogue so that it's interesting. Okay, there you go. That's all my wisdom. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.